Now, in the book, you write extensively about your closeness and love for your brother Michael.
Yes.
You write a chapter on a conversation you had with Michael dating back to 2003 when he first revealed to you his belief that he was going to be murdered. Why do you think he felt that way?
He told me that he was going to be murdered. And when he told me that, I didn't believe him. Didn't believe him simply because in my mind, you're Michael Jackson. Who in the world is going to kill you? Who's going to murder you, Michael? It doesn't make sense to me. And those were my thoughts. And the more he spoke to me about it, and the more he continued to speak to me about it, then I started understanding. It started making all the sense in the world when he would say, I'm afraid to walk around in my yard. I don't like Neverland anymore. They're trying to kill me. They're watching me in the whole bed. And
He wasn't paranoid. It's
No,
a
he
case of
wasn't.
almost follow the money.
Follow the money, yes. And that's exactly what it was. It was follow the money. Michael happened to own one of the largest catalogs in the world. And
Worth over $1 billion.
Worth over $1 billion. For those of you who don't know, a catalog is publishing, which are songs.
Yep.
And he owned almost every single artist's songs out there that you hear. He owned all the Beatles material.
Yep.
Every artist that you can think of that's out there that's big. Michael owned their music.
Yep.
The music you hear in elevators, he owned that music,
Yep.
which every time it's played, you get paid for it.
Yes.
So he was raking in so much money annually every single year, millions and millions, 200-300 million. And it was worth so much, and it kept escalating every year.
And there were others that wanted to get their hands
There
on
were
that.
others who wanted to get their hands on it and wanted to control it and wanted to get him out of the way, and he knew it, and that's what
he was
bothering
afraid
me.
of.
And that's what he was afraid of, and the people that he told me would do it are the people that came into his life, and that's what happened.
Yeah. Let me read again from the book, may I?
Yes, of course.
You said, when I finally realized Michael was dead, my immediate thought was not how did Michael die, but who killed Michael? Who stood most to gain from his death?
Everybody who wanted that library, everybody who surrounded themselves with him stood to gain the most. The people that were in his circle
Yes.
prior to his death, that
Yep.
came into his life less than a week before Michael passed, are the ones who stood the most to gain. If you follow the money trail, you know what happened to my brother.
Yeah.
And that's in deep detail in this book.
It is.
It explains it all.
And for those who know a little bit about his case, you have said on numerous occasions that you feel Michael's physician, Dr. Murray, was just a fall guy.
Yes.
You still feel that way today?
I absolutely do. In my mind, and what I know and what he's told me,
Yes.
it's a conspiracy.
Sure.
And they all got together and they did this, and they used Dr. Murray as the fall guy. It only makes sense to put a doctor in there and make it look like this
Yeah.
was an accident,
Yeah.
and it was not an accident.
All right. But I did want to ask you, do you think that the complete truth will ever be revealed as you see it?
I am going to do my best
You stick with
to
it.
continue to investigate, so the truth will be revealed. I mean, when you read the book, you know exactly what happened.
Yes.
It tells you, it points the finger at everybody, and it makes all the sense in the world.
Right.
And that's exactly what
Right.
happened.
One little story in the book, there was a fan, an obsessed fan, who always stayed outside of his room or his house, and basically just watched Michael come home every day, and would watch the light in his bedroom go off at like 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
and then he would go home. You know, he's almost like Michael's fan guardian or whatever.
Right.
And the night before he passed away, he said the light never went out.
Right.
That was the only night that he'd ever been there with his
The
bedroom
light.
light stayed on all
It
night.
stayed on all night.
Now, why was that?
According to this particular individual, this fan, she would stand there and watch,
Yeah.
and every single night she knew the routine.
That's it.
She
Yeah.
knew the routine.
Right.
And she says, I need to talk to you. This night it didn't go
was
off.
different.
It stayed on. It was different.
Yeah.
It never went off. That light stayed on.
And there were other flags in the book.
And there were other people in that house that night
that weren't normally there.
that weren't normally there,
Yes.
and Michael didn't know that they were there.
Right.